Hello and welcome to this week's newsfeed on the Reboot Show. I'm your host, Amy Smith, and I'm joined as always by Luke Stow, our resident technology panelist. How are you doing today, Luke?
Yeah, really good, Amy. Happy Friday.
I know, it's always the way we get to the end of the week and get to reflect on what's been happening in the news this week in the technology sector. And one of the things that I noticed this week was there was a new partnership that's popped up between the consultancy firm Slalom and AWS. Now, this is a new thing for Australia. So talk to me about what this was all about.
Yeah, first time out of the US that Slalom's done this. And Mike Shimoda, who is the Australian Managing Director of Slalom, came out and announced this week that AWS will partner with Slalom to launch a launch center for cloud migration. The deal helps Australian enterprise organizations with cloud migration and also how they, uplift their IT capabilities and IT services with that partnership.
So what does this mean for Australian organisations and businesses?
Yeah, well, Slalom's a US-based firm based in Seattle, and they're, rapidly growing in the US and first venture, of this type outside of the US. What it means for Australian customers, clients, is they'll be able to leverage that capability that already exists within Slalom. They'll bring that process and that method to Australia in the partnership with AWS, and they'll launch that centre in Melbourne, of all places in Australia. And good news for Melbourne coming out of the COVID lockdown that's been happening. 200 jobs, I think, is being predicted. And what it means for their clients is they'll be able to leverage that capability straight away. And, those who are looking at the cloud migration, particularly to AWS, that'll be part of this arrangement, and they'll bring joint capabilities to the table. So pretty exciting news for the local landscape. We do know that Slalom also supports Google Cloud and also Microsoft Azure, but I think partnering with AWS, who are already quite got a large amount of portfolio here in Australia and in this region, it'll be a good move for Slalom to take. So yeah, pretty exciting for that group, and look forward to engaging more with them as they start to build that out.
Absolutely, it'll be one to watch for sure. And another one to watch, I guess, sort of moment that popped up in the news this week was Microsoft have just invested in what they're calling is the next unicorn in an e-commerce startup based in Indonesia. So tell me about that deal. What happened? What's so special about this startup that they've invested in?
Yeah, it's really, a good move by Microsoft. As we know, a lot of the US tech firms are strategically investing in Southeast Asia. And Indonesia, as we all know, is a huge economy. And so the firm's name, I keep looking at my notes because I don't want to get this wrong. It's Bukalapak, is a e-commerce platform, very much socially engaged as well, like trying to help the local community and help Indonesia shift to that digital economy. An e-commerce platform, and Microsoft, and in conjunction with some other investors, are putting a lot of money into Bukalapak for the reason of capturing that marketplace. And we do know it is already a unicorn, Amy. Bukalapak, it's valued at $2.5 to $3 billion US. It's a rapidly growing organisation.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, pretty big. I do like this firm. It's they've got a really good social program as well. So helping local communities and doing a lot of work for the good of their own communities. And I think it's a really good move for Microsoft to be able to invest in this part of the world.
Yeah. And what does this send out in terms of a signal to perhaps other technology startups in, places like Indonesia?
Yeah, look, I think the money flow into Southeast Asia continues. And, we've seen China with TikTok and various different other applications and platforms. And I think what this means is that the investment from US firms is really, still focused very much in Southeast Asia. We do know that Africa is also producing some fantastic startups in this space. And what it means is that if you've got the right idea and it fits in with the global plans of these bigger organizations, then you can get, immediate cash injection and investment from those firms. And look, it won't just be money, it'll be advertising and association as well. And I do know that Boogaloo Pack users has just moved from Google Cloud over to Microsoft Azure as their preferred partner as well. So, that
would
is a
make
big,
sense.
big benefit to Microsoft as well. That helps.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's great news to come out this week and very encouraging for other startups in that space as well. And just to shift gears a little bit, we talk a lot around privacy issues, cybersecurity, or lots of those sorts of things in the news and on the Reboot show as well. And something that's caught our attention this week was in the US, in Mississippi, the police are now looking for help, I guess, in terms of their surveillance capabilities. And one of the things that they're looking at is being able to access people's Ring devices on their homes to help with their surveillance. So talk to me about, what's going on there and what are some of the pros and cons of this?
Yeah, we always try and throw something in of interest sort of around this space, whether it be robots or new technology that's coming out. Yeah, Jackson, Mississippi, which is a large city of Mississippi, they are looking at leveraging the public domain in terms of these Ring doorbells. We covered Ring a few weeks back where we were talking about the drones as part of that capability, flying around the house with cameras to, surveil and, being available on your Apple phone. Now,
spying on your cat when you leave.
That's right. So what's happening with this is that Jackson, Mississippi, the police force there are starting a 45-day pilot where through these cameras that are available in these doorbells, they want to use that for their surveillance center. They'll access these doorbells. They'll use real-life feeds out of these cameras to film and surveil the area and be able to use these cameras instead of going and investing in their own infrastructure to put out, CCTV cameras. They'll use these cameras instead. The thousands and thousands of these cameras to surveil the local community. Pretty interesting move.
What does this mean for residents? Are people for this? Are they worried about this? What are the implications?
Yeah, look, the immediate backlash has been from privacy groups, and you can imagine they're saying, well, basically, so, these cameras film a lot more things than just, looking for bad people. They're basically filming you as you go outside and, go on your daily chores. They'll film mums and dads and kids. There'll be gardeners.
Take the bins out in your dressing gown.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I dress appropriately when I go out, Amy, but I know there's probably lots of, millennials who don't. And, they'll get filmed as well. And this will be all fed live back to the Jackson control center. Look, pretty interesting. I think this will raise alarms with privacy groups. I think we've all seen a lot of great documentaries lately. I mean, I watched a fascinating show called Capture recently, which is a UK-based show, which was just showing about deep fakes and the ability for government to be able to do all types of things with footage. I think this will be concerning, and I'll watch it with interest to see what happens with this pilot, because if it continues, I do know, by the way, that a lot of US states have banned facial recognition capabilities. So that is currently switched off. But still, the issue remains of, is it right to be using public domains for filming of the public when they won't be aware of that happening?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to hear from our subscribers and people watching this as well, what they think about it. Would you be comfortable sharing your surveillance footage straight with the police from your own home? So it'd be definitely one to watch and a really, really interesting topic. So thank you so much, Luke. I really appreciate all your insights, as usual, on the newsfeed every week. Now, we've got a couple of exciting new segments that are popping up this week as well. So I wanted to alert people to a new people segment that I'll be kicking off this Monday at 4 p.m. So that's where we get to talk about all sorts of things people related and skills related in the technology space. And you've got an exciting new segment coming up too, Luke. What's that about?
Yeah, Amy, before I get to mine, I'm excited about yours. I can't wait to watch that. And so, like, you're just going to be talking about skills and capability in the technology sector, and what will you be interviewing people, or will it be a rundown or a mixture of all of it?
Mixture of all. I've got some sneaky guests lined up that I think will be great, because there's the theory of things and then there's the practice of things, and I lean a lot to the practical side of things, and I know our audience loves the practical insights on the show as well. So we'll be able to I guess in a sense pick the brains of a lot of really formidable people focused people in the technology sector. So I'm looking forward to it.
No, exciting. Yeah, look, my segment's going to be called In Review, and I'm looking forward to this because I've been sharpening my pencil for a long time, about really wanting to get inside, projects that have failed, IT organizations that, maybe not doing the right thing, maybe doing something spectacular, innovation in the space. And so In
Yep.
Review is going to be a really targeted, focused segment. I'll be mixing it up as well. It'll be a mixture of interviews. It'll be a mixture of me just having an opinion piece about what's going on within technology. And look, I'll be deep diving, and it'll be really interesting to see the feedback I get from that. Hopefully not too many lawsuits, Amy, because I'm really going to go hard at this.
Well, that's good. I think people need to know, though. I think they need to know the behind the scenes of what actually goes on. And we have another really exciting segment, the hot seat, coming up. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that, Luke?
Yeah, look, this is going to be something. As we know, our hard-hitting sort of interviewer, Sally A. Illingworth, as she likes to be called, Sally will be providing a hot seat weekly segment. I think she starts that in a fortnight. And the idea there is that she'll be interviewing some of the best and brightest around in technology and putting them in the hot seat and asking the hard questions. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. I wouldn't like to be in that hot seat, Amy.
It'll be great. Sally knows how to ask the right questions at the right time. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, it'll be great. So thanks again. We will be back on, all three of us together, on Tuesday night live for the Reboot Show Live. And make sure to subscribe so you never miss a segment and an episode. And we'll see you again here next week.
See you,
Bye.
Amy. Subscribe.